So hi guys, welcome to Financial Matrix Solution, and also welcome to another episode. So today I thought of doing a video journal, and for the main purpose, this video is all about trying to look, especially now that we are in Q4. Sorry, we're in Q4. So we're remaining like 3 months to the end of the year, and I thought of doing just a video, especially now because for day trading videos, sometimes it's hectic because I need to monitor my trades also. So sometimes I always fail to do some video journals on it. But today I decided to do one that will probably combine some fundamentals and what I'm looking at. So feel free and welcome. And disclaimer also, this content is just for educational purposes. And also, for the most part, at least those who are into ICT concepts will really gain a lot. And especially if you are kind of advanced and probably reading on your own and get a few ropes on it, this channel will probably help you a lot. So even for beginners, I'll try to recommend you go and see Inner Circle Traders and on YouTube. So you can start there and look at the private co-mentorship. That will probably help you a lot. Yeah, so let's dig in. And I always like to look at fundamentals also, because I always do believe whatever we see on our technicals is, for the most part, a representation of what the fundamentals reports are. And if you go to September, and I always like to compile some, let's say, for like a month of what happened the previous month, and probably what I'm looking at for the forecasting month ahead. And if we look at what September has been doing, for the most part, week one we had jolt openings, and the readings came less, and it being less, fundamentally for me, it signaled a rate cut at that point. And come Thursday, we had an employment claims, and in week one also of September, we had NFP, and especially this NFP was kind of in an increasing, because now, to me, that fundamentally kind of signaled some less dovish cuts, or probably an unchanged cuts. So probably here I was trying to focus probably in coming future. The rate cycle will probably not be that fast, and any sentiment to that could probably signal some dollar gains. However much long term, I do believe we're in a long term sales on dollar, because we're in the current cycle rate. And if you haven't watched my episode on can fundamentals help you, I've talked about how to key in some of the things in the fundamental aspect way. So anyway, week two we had CPI, that's we had PPI, and same that's we had unemployment claims. And on this Thursday, if you note, unemployment increased from to 28 to 30K. So it shows that probably the people who are filing for claims on it were higher. So that signals kinda the economy is not kinda doing well. So remember, you are always still keeping monitoring, especially the labor markets and what they are doing. So come week three, we had retail sales, which showed consumers were happy to spend on more of it. And also in week three, we had when the Fed rate came, and we had that 50 basis cut as it was expected. However, on this day, Paul was talking about the statements, and especially on the interview part. he sounded less dovish for me. So that was one key thing, because he pointed out that moving forward, that we'll probably be looking at what the labor market reports are doing come the next Fed meeting, which is in November. So that's a point where I took note of. And week 4, which was last week, there was consumer confidence. GDP in US came unchanged. So at least that kind of signal for me, at least probably they could be less dovish on the cuts. And also unemployment claims came less too, which kind of signaled fundamentally for me could be less dovish cuts. But anyway, now, because now we're in October, what are we looking at this week? This week you have Fed Powell, which of course he spoke today. And actually today was a very, very great day for dollar. And I'll dive into it fundamentally before we go to technicals and what I'm looking at. And so Fed Powell spoke today. And funny enough, these were the points that Fed Powell was talking about. And so whatever Fed Powell talked about today, you can go check it out on the news and all that. But from what I got about this Fed Powell doing today, or talking about today, was that he's kind of less dovish, and is, for the most part, is going to rely on the labor markets report, especially now we see October this week. We have NFP. We have a lot of labor market reports that are happening. So like this October, we have jolt openings tomorrow. We have the NFP and employment change, the ADP one first on Wednesday. We have an employment claims on Thursday and Friday. So I believe this week will be very crucial to know about what dollar is going to do. And it will be very crucial to try and see what the Fed will do on the next Fed meeting. If I'm to take a guess on this, fundamentally, I'll probably lean to short-term dollar gains, especially if NFP comes greater increases from the previous one. I believe it could signal a less dovish cut for me, or maybe it remains unchanged, could still signal a less dovish cut. But in case probably let's say NFP is lesser, I think that will fuel a lot of gains, a lot of bearishness on dollar, as we confirm that probably even come November could be a bigger rate cut, maybe even with a 50 basis point. So yeah, so this is the Fed Watch tools CME group, from the CME group side. And currently, if we look around this area, so a lot of people who are forecasting at least a 25 basis cutting point are around 53% already. But remember, this changes as we head towards, as we near the policy day. And you can look also that some are forecasting probably a 50 basis point. That is around 46%. So nevertheless, if we now go to what the banks are doing and what they are forecasting, you can check it out on the list. I'll just use one example so that we can go to the charts. You see, like Goldman Sachs, they are forecasting probably a 25 basis cut point on November, then another one in December. Some vary, like JP Morgan, they're expecting probably a 50 basis cut in November, then probably 25 basis cut on December. So nevertheless, the sentiments on dollar, on Powell, what he did and talked about today, for me felt so less dovish. And if you're into fundamentals, you can just check and see what the last Fed Powell talk was about, and listen in, and if you love fundamentals, could help you in a way. So anyway, I want us to go to DXY and what I'm looking at. So what I think of DXY, especially now, because now Q3 is over, now we're starting with Q4. So if we drop to monthly, and remember, this is not day trading, so this is kind of short-term to long-term scenarios. So for anyone who's looking at being a long-term trader, this will help you. But anyway, I'll just always insist, like I always do it, is when I'm looking at PDRAs, and for those who do not know PDRAs, that's why I'm telling you this channel is at least for kind of somehow advanced ICT traders. So anyway, if I'm looking for a PDRA, I always look at where the market price is. And above me and below me, I can use PDRAs to participate or observe or just point them that are there. So currently, below market price, I have this sell side noted right here. And above me, there's this weekly CB that I think it had to be marked. So this is a weekly CB. So just like that, already I can process now, but go to weekly and also look at above and below what PDRAs I can use. So currently still I'm using this sell side on the monthly, and also in addition, I have a sell side on the weekly right there. Above, depends with the PDRA that you like. So I have noted a CB above me. So what I feel for this coming October, especially for dollar, and especially with what NFP could be and the report which could come out, and because of Fed Powell statements, I'm thinking probably short term dollar might gain, especially because of this monthly sell side that we seeked. And especially if you go to the daily, let's first go to the daily, you see there's a really squeezing of prices, especially this September that is now over. You can see all this squeezing of price. So it means that there's it's certain that once the fundamentals kick in, I do believe there's going to be a very, very strong move to the direction. So the direction I could probably predicting is probably, sorry for that. So what I'm thinking, for the most part, for dollar, I'm thinking gains on dollar as the draw probably to this weekly. So maybe back to this weekly CB or maybe this monthly one, then probably now continuation to the downside. But for the most part, that's what I'm looking for, at least Q4, and most probably this October as we prep for November. So that's what I'm thinking. It will be great if once we get above this volume, because this is a combination of two, there's a volume imbalance and CB. So it will be great after we probably close above with candles could signify at least now getting to this CB. And I believe this could be a short-term basis. So for those who like to be swing traders, will be beneficial to them. But nevertheless, I always like to day trade because I believe I get a lot of opportunities, and I'm able to go on with my other stuff and sleep well. But nevertheless, that's what I'm thinking on dollar. So if you go to, especially now today, and the activity that happened, especially now. So as you can see, all this activity on today's setup and what Powell was talking about fueled a lot of buying generally. So I'm thinking come Friday, we'll probably seal the deal on this, and probably eventually get to these liquidity areas. On my case, that's what I'm thinking. If we go to EU, same thing. For EU also same thing, but let's first go to monthly. So as usual, systematically, I just look above and below. So on the buy side, we have this buy side above market price, and below I could still use this now established BC on the monthly. So from there, drop to the weekly and look at PDRAs that I could probably mark. So currently what I'm thinking, I have this buy side on the weekly. Below me, I have this BC on the weekly. If you go to daily, below I have this BC that if probably now we break it, would fuel a lot of selling to these BCs or these areas being as rows of liquidity around here. So what I'm thinking, long term on this, at least some bearish on dollar. That's what I'm thinking, bearish on dollar. And especially if you also looking at fundamentals, the statements from or the reports from last week I think last week or 2 weeks ago on GBP, it felt less dovish on them on their rates. So that could probably now weaken the GBP in a way. So generally, that's what I'm thinking on a short-term basis or long-term for those who think this is long-term. But the longest term, remember, you're in a rate cycle, so I always believe dollar is going to be punished a lot eventually and be weak a lot. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. What else? Maybe you can go to GU. Same thing on the monthly. So on the monthly, I can notice I haven't marked the PDRs on the monthly. But if it were very, very obvious, I would probably using this OB. But on the weekly, I've marked some of them, but you could probably use that OB. And below me, I think I would probably be using this potential breaker. So, but on the weekly, I have a lot because now inside the nested, we have a nested CB inside the monthly OB, which I had. So there's this CB combination of a CB and a volume imbalance area. So I always like to mark them, all of them, if they are concurrently following each other. So what else? Below me, I have this BC right here. So what I'm thinking, if you now apply fundamentals, so what I'm thinking is probably short-term sales, maybe be attracted to this BC before maybe come November, then we can probably forecast another fundamental aspect, short-term or long-term. Nevertheless, remember day trading, you can have the bias like this, but you'll still miss the opportunities. And actually, you would probably be fading that bias, just targeting short-term areas. So sorry, you're just targeting day trading or intraday liquidity areas too as your exits. Yeah, so I think that will be enough for today. So I'll try also to, because some say they love about my day trading video journals, so they are able to review, especially now end of the day they're able to review it. So I'll try my best. But remember, it's also hectic to manage when you are actually managing. You are looking at your setups and entries and trying to do video journal. So anyway, yeah, so let's end it there. May the peeps be with you.